Welcome to Thompson Mountain Sportsman Association, or TMSA. This orientation will provide you with a brief history of our club, an overview of the range rules, and what we expect from you as a member. At the end of this session, you will be required to complete a form and return it to the office to confirm your understanding of our guidelines. Let's begin. TMSA was first incorporated as the Port Moody Gun Club on May 31st, 1949. Over the years, as our membership and activities expanded, we relocated to our current home and, on November 19th, 1973, officially became the Thompson Mountain Sportsman Association, TMSA. Since then, TMSA has grown into a leading hub for shooting sports, offering a safe and structured environment for enthusiasts of all levels. Our facilities have evolved to support various shooting disciplines, from rifle and pistol shooting to trap, skeet, and archery. At TMSA, we are committed to promoting the art of rifle, revolver, and pistol shooting, along with trap and skeet shooting, archery, hunting, and fishing, fostering good fellowship among sportsmen while advocating for the proper protection of fish and wildlife, hosting and conducting social events and activities for the enjoyment and benefit of our members. TMSA isn't just a shooting range. It's a community dedicated to responsible firearm use, conservation, and camaraderie. At TMSA, all safety commands and range instructions are given in English. It is crucial that all members and guests understand these instructions to ensure safety at all times. If you are not able to understand English instructions, you must bring your own interpreter while shooting at the club. Your interpreter must be with you at all times while on TMSA property to assist with communication and ensure you follow all safety guidelines. Additionally, all safety and warning signs are written in English. You must be able to clearly understand these signs before using the TMSA ranges to ensure your safety and the safety of others. TMSA hosts a variety of shooting disciplines to accommodate different shooting interests and skill levels. These include steel, speed steel, a fast-paced competition focusing on speed and accuracy with steel targets. RPM, rimfire precision match, a precision shooting event for rimfire rifles. CMPS, Coast Mountain Practical Shooters, a discipline focusing on practical shooting scenarios. IPSC, International Practical Shooters Confederation, a dynamic and challenging shooting sport that tests accuracy, power, and speed. For more details on these disciplines and upcoming events, visit our website at tmsa.net. TMSA consists of 13 designated ranges, each with specific rules and purposes. Range 1, 50-yard range for day card users and members. Range 2, open to day card users and members. Range 3, members and their guests. Features steel targets for pistol shooting and electric clay throwers for shotguns. Range 4 and 5, overflow ranges for events, members only. Range 6 and 7, designated for CMPS users. Range 8 and 9, special use ranges. Range 10, CMPS, and approved members only. Range 11, rifle range for shooting at 50 or 100 yards. Range 12, members only rifle range, no guests, for shooting at 100 yards. Range 13, rental range. Please check our website for updates on range access and events. All members and guests must sign in at the office before proceeding onto the range. If attending an event, you must sign in with the event coordinator. Members must always display their membership card while on TMSA property. If a member forgets their membership card, they must purchase a $35 day card. Guests must present ID when signing in and display their day card at all times. Members are fully responsible for their guests' actions while on TMSA property. Some ranges limit the number of guests per member. Range 3, maximum of 3 guests per member. Range 11, maximum of 1 guest per member. If a guest does not have a firearms license, The licensed member must remain within arm's reach and have full control of the firearm. If a member does not have a firearms license, they must be accompanied by a licensed member who remains in control. All members and guests must sign out at the range office before leaving. TMSA range hours are subject to change. Always check our website for updated hours and event schedules. The range may close due to inclement weather, especially in winter, as steep road conditions may make access unsafe. Last shot fired is 30 minutes before posted closing time. Check our website tmsa.net for special event closures, holidays, and updates. To ensure safety and proper traffic flow, TMSA has the following parking and driving rules. The speed limit on TMSA property is 20 kilometers per hour. Parking is only allowed in designated parking areas. Range 3 is a drop-off zone only. No parking is allowed at any time. A maximum of 2 vehicles are permitted at any CMPS range, and parking must be at the range you are signed in at. No parking is allowed at the indoor facility. Driving or parking on range shooting surfaces is strictly prohibited. Firearms should not be handled unnecessarily in parking areas. This includes looking down sights or adjusting optics. Proper transportation and handling of firearms onto the range is required for everyone's safety. The preferred method for bringing non-restricted firearms onto the range is in cases. If a non-restricted firearm is not in a case, rifles must be carried with the muzzle pointed up and the action open with the magazine removed. Restricted firearms must be transported in a case to and from the range in accordance with firearm regulations. Restricted firearms must remain in their case while being carried onto the range. All firearms must be unloaded upon arrival on TMSA property.
The TMSA office is located at Range 1 and serves as the main point of contact for members and guests. At the office, you sign in and sign out before and after using the range. Purchase paper targets, clay targets, and IPSC targets. Access first aid in case of emergencies. Get staples for use with club staplers. Make payments using debit and credit cards. TMSA does not accept cash. All members and guests must sign in at the office before heading onto the range. Each range at TMSA is equipped with a first aid kit for emergency use only. These kits contain a tourniquet, a pressure pad, an air horn for signaling emergencies. If an emergency occurs, use the air horn to alert others and immediately call the TMSA emergency contact number 778-987-8672. This number is clearly displayed on all first aid kits for quick access.
TMSA is a smoke-free range with one designated smoking area. The only acceptable area for smoking or vaping is in front of the office. Smoking anywhere else on TMSA property is prohibited. Violators will lose access to the range, and guests will be asked to leave. Personal vehicles are not acceptable smoking areas. Always use the provided ashtray. Do not dispose of cigarette butts improperly. If the smoking area is abused, it may be removed. To maintain cleanliness and avoid attracting wildlife, all members and guests must follow these guidelines. Bears and other animals are looking for food. Do not toss food scraps onto the range. Place empty beverage containers in designated recycling bins. Dumping personal household garbage at TMSA is strictly prohibited. Be mindful of wildlife. If an animal steps onto the range, stop shooting immediately until it is clear. For safety reasons, all berms and backstops are strictly off limits. No members or guests are allowed on any berms or backstops. Climbing berms or backstops is unacceptable as it's unsafe and also degrades the berms and backstops. Violators will face disciplinary action. Targets must never be placed on backstops. The only acceptable targets are paper targets, which must be stapled to the provided target boards. Safety is our top priority at TMSA. Please follow these essential safety rules. Emergency instructions and procedures are posted at every range. eye and hearing protection is mandatory on all TMSA ranges at all times. You must comply with eye and hearing protection mandates, or you will be asked to leave. Most TMSA ranges use a safety flag system to indicate range status. The green flag is displayed during a ceasefire. The red flag is displayed when the range is active. Firearms, ammunition, or magazines must only be handled when the red flag is displayed. Additional flag rules apply to CMPS ranges. Ranges 1, 2, 3, 11, and 12 require proper flag use. All other ranges are considered hot at all times. Always assume they are in active use. When a ceasefire is in effect, the following rules must be strictly followed. No handling of any firearms, ammunition, or magazines. Everyone must stay behind the yellow line at all times. All firearms must be unloaded, with actions open and displayed. Only during a ceasefire are shooters allowed to go downrange to post or adjust targets. You may go forward to clean up spent casings in front of the firing line. The ceasefire must be acknowledged by all persons on the range before proceeding downrange. Let's talk about safe practices and muzzle direction, two of the most important habits you'll develop at TMSA. All firearms must be uncased at the firing line benches only. When removing a firearm from its case, always keep the muzzle pointed downrange. If your case holds multiple rifles pointed in different directions, remove the rifle pointed downrange first. Then, rotate the case before removing the second rifle safely. Open all actions. If an action does not stay open, use a chamber flag to indicate an empty chamber. Remove all magazines before doing anything else. If using the rifle rack, always point the muzzle up while moving your firearm to or from the rack. If you're arriving at your assigned range with a rifle that is not in a case, always check the range status first. If the range is under a ceasefire, green flag up, do not enter with your uncased firearm. Instead, leave the firearm secured in your vehicle until the range is active again. Once the range is hot, red flag displayed, you may bring your rifle in, muzzle pointed up, and proceed to the firing line. Handling an uncased firearm during a ceasefire is a direct violation of safety protocols, and it puts others at risk. Follow the 4 acts of firearm safety. Acts and prove. Hip firing is not allowed. All shots must be aimed down sights. TMSA has clear rules on approved targets. Please follow these guidelines. Paper targets are not permitted on Range 3. Members and guests must not bring their own steel targets. Only TMSA provided steel may be used. If you notice a broken steel target, do not shoot it. Report it to the range office immediately. Range 3 steel is for pistol calibers and .22 LR firearms only. No rifles, shotguns, or magnum calibers. Magnum rounds can damage the steel or cause injury. If you're unsure if your ammunition is safe for steel, check with range staff before shooting. Do not use steel core ammunition on steel targets. If you're not sure, ask the range office. Magnum rounds are not permitted on steel targets. When you're finished shooting for the day, we ask that all members and guests help keep the range clean and safe for others by following these simple steps. Collect all your spent shells and casings from the shooting area and the range floor. Remove your targets from the range. Return all target stands to the designated storage area. On ranges 11 and 12, please remove all target paper from the stands and leave the stands on the range itself. Place any misfired ammunition into the designated misfired ammunition boxes. Never throw them in the garbage. Dispose of all other waste in the provided garbage cans. Taking a few minutes to clean up helps maintain a safe and respectful shooting environment for everyone. The use of alcohol or drugs has absolutely no place on a shooting range. Alcoholic beverages are not permitted anywhere on TMSA property. If any person appears to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs, a member or range officer may ask them to stop shooting immediately and leave the property. Safety comes first, and this rule is strictly enforced. Respecting our neighbors. Golden Eagle Golf Club is our closest neighbor, and we share the road access with them. Please be mindful of golfers crossing the road or standing at the stage by our gate. Occasionally during the summer, the golf club holds wedding services. The staff at the golf course may stop you and request you wait while wedding proceedings are happening so they can be done without vehicle interruptions. Please ensure you maintain a slow speed while traveling along the shared roadway. Thanks for taking the time to complete your TMSA range orientation. We're glad to have you on board. Stay safe, follow the rules, and we'll see you on the range.